Hey guys, we're in Atlanta, Georgia for the 10th and final episode of Season 6. Why are we here? Well, I'll ignore the existential tone of the question. Well, I'll tell you this. This season finale episode is called The Layover. And Atlanta, Georgia is home to one of the biggest airports in the entire country. See, it's relevant. Be sure and stick around at the end of this video, and I'll tell you all the ways that you can see more of our videos anytime you want. I'm Stace Massengill, and this is the GC. So have you ever been on a lengthy flight where you had to stop at a city somewhere between where you started and where you were headed? It's called a layover stop. And generally layovers are not very long at all, but occasionally, because of flight cancellations, rerouting, or more often inclement weather, you might have a really long layover in some city. Now most people are content to spend the layover time holed up at the airport or perhaps at a nearby hotel. But given the opportunity, why not explore and see what all you might accomplish in that city? In this video, we're going to talk about this layover stop that we are on called life. Yep, here's the question. How are you spending the time that you've been given? Okay, let me really bring this point home for you. See, we tend to spend most of our time focused, well, more on where we're going than on where we are. The destination is important, but so is the journey. When we are preoccupied with one, then we tend to ignore the other, and in so doing, we end up missing out on, well, a lot. As Christians, our goal each day should be to make, well, a difference in the world on the behalf of Jesus. That's how we become his hands and feet. But if we're just hanging around in the airport of life, waiting on our connecting flight to heaven, well, what good are we to the kingdom?
At least he's not reading from the Bible.
Let's look at a great example of this from the Bible.
Oh, crap.
In Luke chapter 10, we find a familiar story about the Good Samaritan. But what you should notice are the people who passed by before the Samaritan showed up. People who should have done something but didn't. You know, the kind of people we don't want to be. Starting with verse 30. Jesus replied and said, "A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among robbers. And they stripped him and beat him and went away, leaving him half dead. And by chance a priest was going down the road, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. Likewise a Levite also, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side." Okay, wait, hold on a second. A priest, of all people, a man of the cloth, a member of the clergy, a supposed man of God, and he did nothing. In fact, he consciously and purposefully ignored the man in need, even going so far as to pass by on the other side of the road, totally avoiding the guy. And then a Levite did exactly the same thing. A Levite, this was a member of the Hebrew tribe of Levi, and they provided assistance to the priests in the worship in the Jewish temple. He did the same thing. These guys were not representing the kingdom well at all. But then again, honestly, how many times have we perhaps done the same? Ouch. Let's continue the story and see what we ought to do. Picking up in verse 33, "But a Samaritan who was on a journey came upon him, and when he saw him, he felt compassion, and came to him and bandaged up his wounds, pouring oil and wine on them. And he put him on his own beast and brought him to an inn and took care of him." Now, if we stopped right there, we could say, nice, good job. That Samaritan really stepped up. We should do that. But wait, he didn't stop there. As Jesus continued the story in verse 35, On the next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper and said, 'Take care of him, and whatever more you spend, when I return, I will repay you.'" Wow. Talk about a kingdom hero. The Good Samaritan just went from good to downright awesome. Hello. And then Jesus asked this question in verse 36. "Which of these 3 do you think proved to be a neighbor to the man who fell into the robber's hands?" And the man answered him, "Well, the one who showed mercy toward him, of course." And then Jesus said to him, "Go and do the same." Boom. That's our calling right there. Being a good person, a good neighbor, a compassionate and true representative of the kingdom of heaven. And these opportunities come along every step of the way during the journey of our lives. You know, we love to sing the song about when we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be. But how much do we stop during this layover on planet Earth and think about what we could be and should be doing right now in this moment? What can you honestly say that you are doing with the time that you've been given? Are you shining the light of Jesus? Are you helping the helpless, giving hope to the hopeless, feeding the hungry, sheltering the homeless, binding up the wounds of the injured? But this has become somewhat of a central theme here at the GC, and it's a lesson that I hope that we can all take to heart. Because you see, our calling is to be kingdom heroes. That was the title of one of our videos back in Season 3, Episode 9. Check it out. Now that term is being used on our Facebook page, our Twitter account, Kingdom Hero 67. There's a reason for this. It's who we're meant to be as children of God. Represent His mercy, represent His grace. Look at what the Samaritan of that story did, and as Jesus said, go and do the same. Hey, hope you enjoyed this video and hope you enjoyed Season 6 of the GC, which may be over now, but there's plenty of GC still to come. Good Lord willing, creek don't rise. If you want to catch up on seasons gone by, watch some of our older videos, share them with your friends, go to our YouTube channel. It's at this web address right over here. And while you're there, click the big red subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed, and hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button as well, so you'll get notified when new episodes are inevitably uploaded again here to our channel. Also, you can catch up with us over here on our Facebook page. Even in the off season, we'll be posting things there at facebook.com/KingdomHero67. Or you can follow us on our Twitter feed at Kingdom Hero 67, or just go to twitter.com/Kingdom Hero 67. Remember I mentioned that whole Kingdom Hero thing? Yeah, okay. Anyways, share these videos with your friends and help us spread the word, spread the gospel. That's what the GC is all about. Enjoy the off season. We'll see you in Season 7 of the GC. God bless and take care.